There are a ton of Easter eggs associated with one of the NPCs in Silksong. He might originate from outside of Pharloom, he's probably a reference to another video game, and he definitely adheres to Mario Kart logic. This is the lore of Sprintmaster Swift. So Swift is found on the eastern side of Pharloom, and he'll challenge you to 4 races. In terms of the Mario Kart reference, you can get a boost on these races by holding down the sprint button on the second bell. Swift is pretty unbothered by the downfall of Pharloom, and that's because it seems like he's part of an external group. You see, the title Sprintmaster is known all across the world, and we see it in the original Hollow Knight. There are 2 charms named Sprintmaster and Dashmaster, and those charms are modeled off the bugs that hold those titles. In fact, we can see a statue of the Dashmaster who visited Hallownest in this blue cloak. Now, you might be tempted to say that Sprintmaster Swift is the bug that the Sprintmaster charm was modeled off of, but I don't think that's the case. Silksong presumably takes place in the distant future from Hollow Knight, and Swift isn't wearing the red cloak that you see in the charm. So I think Sprintmaster is a title that's passed down to different bugs rather than a name that's associated with one dude. In fact, at one point, Swift mentions his speed teacher, which gives some credibility to this idea of a title with lineage. And in terms of the reference to another video game, well, way back in the day, people thought that the Dashmaster crest looked a lot like Sans. I tend to think people see Sans everywhere, but I do have to admit that the blue on the crest looks a whole lot like Sans' hoodie. And so if the Dashmaster is Sans, that would make the Sprintmaster Papyrus. And what do you know, when we meet the Sprintmaster, it turns out he's a goofy, lanky skeletal bug. Subscribe for more Silksong lore.